The NFL draft is definitely not a sure thing. A simple look at history will show tons of draft busts at various positions for most organizations. Plus, there are some incredible players who have game-changing careers that are overlooked in the draft entirely. Today I wanted to go over some of what I think are the greatest undrafted players in NFL history. This isn't to say anyone not on this list was bad or wasn't great in their own rights. These are just players that I can't believe were overlooked in the draft and went on to have all-pro careers for their respective teams. They are some of the greatest undrafted players in NFL history. Kurt Warner had been a quarterback at Northern Iowa. He had only 1 year as a true starter in college, where he threw for 2,700 yards and 17 touchdowns. Based on the fact he played for a small school and only had 1 year of play to evaluate, he was largely overlooked entirely in the 1994 draft. He went the entire draft without being selected, but was hell-bent on making sure he would be able to have a career in football. He would end up being invited to the Packers for a tryout, but happened to be competing with a quarterback room that had Brett Favre, Mark Brunell, and Ty Detmer. He found himself released and was so unsure of his next step that he took a job at a grocery store in Cedar Falls, Iowa, making $5 an hour. No NFL teams were willing to give Kurt a chance, but he loved football. He wound up joining the Arena Football League in 1995 and would absolutely light the league on fire. He was a first-team All-Arena player in 1996 and 1997 and was so dominant in the Arena Football League that he was ranked 12th on a list of all-time Arena football players. This obviously got attention on the young quarterback from the higher level, and he was offered a tryout with the Bears in 1997. The issue was that he suffered a throwing elbow injury that prevented him from actually attending the tryout. It wasn't a total loss though, as the Rams would offer him a contract to go play for their NFL Europe team. This allowed him to compete in a more NFL-styled game, and it wouldn't be long before he found himself leading NFL Europe in touchdowns and passing yards. He came back and wound up being the third-string quarterback from the Rams in 1998. However, few thought he would ever see the field, as the Rams had signed Trent Green to be their future quarterback. Trent Green would famously suffer a torn ACL in a preseason game, and this forced Warner into a starting role. While plenty of people were doubters, we all know the season he went on to have. He formed the greatest show on turf and threw for 4,300 yards and 41 touchdowns that season. The Rams went on a miracle run to a Super Bowl championship and would repeat the feat in 2001 with another Super Bowl championship. His 2001 season was even more impressive with 4,800 yards and 36 touchdowns. The issue for Warner was that he was unable to stay healthy for much longer after 2001, and after a disappointing 2 years, found himself as Eli Manning's backup in New York. This was a fine year, but he knew in his heart he wanted to take one more stab at being a starting quarterback. He signed with the Arizona Cardinals in 2005 and would eventually win the starting job, but be taken out with a partially torn MCL. In 2006, he would be injured yet again, and in 2008, he would come back in full force to throw for 4,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, and lead the Cardinals all the way to the Super Bowl. While he was unable to win his third Super Bowl, he had definitely cemented himself as one of the best undrafted players in NFL history. Only a handful of players have ever been capable of winning 2 Super Bowls, and almost everyone except for Jim Plunkett, who's done it at quarterback, are in the Hall of Fame. While he was very prone to injury and would have definitely had a better overall career if he would have stayed healthy, he had a career total of 32,000 yards, 208 touchdowns, and a win-loss of 67 wins to 49 losses overall. The biggest downside to his career were the constant injuries. There is a good chance he could have had 50,000 career yards if he would have had more full seasons. James Harrison's journey to the NFL was anything but conventional. Growing up in Akron, Ohio, Harrison faced numerous challenges, including doubts about his temperament and his ability to play at a high level due to his relatively small size for a linebacker. At Kent State, he became a dominant force on defense, earning All-MAC honors. However, concerns about his height and a reputation for being difficult to coach led NFL teams to overlook him in the 2002 draft. After going undrafted, Harrison signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers as a free agent. However, his initial stint with the team was short-lived. The Steelers cut him multiple times, and he spent most of his first few years bouncing between practice squads and looking for opportunities. Harrison even had a brief stint in NFL Europe with the Rhine Fire, where he struggled to adjust to professional football. Frustrated and doubting his future in the game, Harrison considered quitting football altogether. His turning point came in 2004 when the Steelers brought him back, partly out of necessity due to injuries on the roster. Even then, he was a backup behind established stars like Joey Porter and Clark Haggins. His big break came in 2007 when Porter left the team in free agency. Harrison, finally given the opportunity to start, showed the NFL what he was capable of. That season, he recorded 8.5 sacks, 98 tackles, and 7 forced fumbles, earning his first Pro Bowl selection. What made Harrison special was his unmatched work ethic and relentless determination. He attacked every practice, workout, and game with the same intensity that had defined his early struggles. Known for his strength and explosiveness, Harrison became a master of the Steelers' pass rushing schemes, thriving in their 3-4 defense. By 2008, Harrison had established himself as one of the league's premier defenders. That year, he won NFL Defensive Player of the Year after recording 16 sacks and 7 forced fumbles. His crowning moment came in Super Bowl 43 when he intercepted Kurt Warner at the goal line and returned it 100 yards for a touchdown, the longest play in Super Bowl history. That play not only shifted the momentum of the game, but cemented Harrison's status as a legend. What made Harrison special was his unmatched work ethic and relentless determination. He attacked every practice, workout, and game with the same intensity that had defined his early struggles. Known for his strength and explosiveness, Harrison became a master of the Steelers' pass rushing schemes, thriving in their 3-4 defense. By 2008, Harrison had established himself as one of the league's premier defenders. That year, he won NFL Defensive Player of the Year after recording 16 sacks and 7 forced fumbles. His crowning moment came in Super Bowl 43 when he intercepted Kurt Warner at the goal line and returned it 100 yards for a touchdown, the longest play in Super Bowl history. That play not only shifted the momentum of the game, but cemented Harrison's status as a legend. John Randle's rise to NFL stardom is one of the most inspiring underdog stories in football history. Coming out of Texas A&I, Randle went undrafted in 1990, largely due to his size. At just 6 feet 1 inch tall and weighing around 240 pounds, Randle was considered too small to play defensive tackle at the NFL level. Despite his college production, scouts doubted whether he could handle the physicality of the professional game. Undeterred, Randle was determined to prove them wrong. Randle got his shot with the Minnesota Vikings after signing as an undrafted free agent. Initially, he wasn't guaranteed anything beyond a tryout, and he had to work tirelessly to even make the roster. Known for his relentless energy and infectious enthusiasm, Randle quickly made an impression on coaches with his tireless motor and ability to disrupt plays. He earned a roster spot and began as a backup, but it didn't take long for his talents to shine. By his second season, Randle was a key part of the Vikings' defense, and he soon became one of the most dominant interior pass rushers in NFL history. What Randle lacked in size, he more than made up for with his speed, technique, and unparalleled intensity. He was known for his signature face paint, trash talk, and a fiery personality that fueled his relentless play on the field. Offensive linemen struggled to block him, as his quickness off the line and ability to use leverage made him a nightmare matchup. Randle's breakthrough came in the mid-1990s when he became a cornerstone of the Vikings' defense. He recorded double-digit sack totals in 8 of his seasons, a rare feat for a defensive tackle. In 1997, he led the NFL with 15.5 sacks, earning the first of his 6 first-team All-Pro honors. His combination of skill and showmanship made him a fan favorite and one of the most respected players in the league. After 11 seasons with the Vikings, Randle spent his final 3 years with the Seattle Seahawks, continuing to play at a high level before retiring after the 2003 season. Over his career, Randle accumulated 137.5 sacks, the most ever by a defensive tackle at the time of his retirement. His efforts earned him 7 Pro Bowl selections and a well-deserved induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2010. John Randle's story is a testament to self-belief. From being an undrafted player considered too small for the NFL to becoming one of the greatest defensive linemen in history, Randle proved that heart and determination could overcome any obstacle. His legacy is not only defined by his on-field dominance, but also by the passion and energy he brought to every snap. Justin Tucker's rise to NFL greatness is a story of skill and an uncanny ability to thrive under pressure. Despite an impressive college career at the University of Texas, where he was known for his consistency and clutch kicks, Tucker went undrafted in the 2012 NFL Draft. Teams often hesitate to use draft picks on kickers, and Tucker's relatively unassuming college statistics didn't reflect the transcendent talent he would later display. Determined to prove his worth, he earned a tryout with the Baltimore Ravens, where he faced a daunting challenge challenge, beating out veteran kicker Billy Cundiff, who had been an All-Pro just 2 years earlier. In training camp, Tucker immediately impressed coaches with his powerful leg and calm demeanor. His consistency in practice and preseason games won him the job, marking the beginning of one of the greatest careers in NFL history. As a rookie in 2012, Tucker was nearly flawless, hitting 30 of 33 field goal attempts and 42 of 42 extra points. His 47-yard field goal in double overtime against the Denver Broncos during the playoffs was a defining moment, showcasing his clutch gene. Tucker's reliability was critical in the Ravens' march to Super Bowl 47, where they defeated the San Francisco 49ers. From that moment on, Tucker cemented himself as the gold standard for NFL kickers. Known for his extraordinary accuracy, Tucker's career field goal percentage has consistently hovered above 90%, making him the most accurate kicker in league history. His range is equally impressive. He regularly converts kicks beyond 50 yards and holds the NFL record for the longest successful field goal, a jaw-dropping 66-yarder against the Detroit Lions in 2021. That game-winning kick, which bounced off the crossbar and through the uprights as time expired, is emblematic of Tucker's ability to deliver in the most high-pressure situations. Tucker's excellence goes beyond raw numbers. His meticulous preparation, flawless mechanics, and unshakable confidence make him a unique weapon for the Ravens. Whether it's a routine extra point or a game-deciding kick in difficult conditions, Tucker executes with precision. His mental toughness and composure under pressure have earned him the trust of coaches and teammates alike. Off the field, Tucker's vibrant personality has endeared him to fans. A classically trained opera singer, he has performed publicly on multiple occasions, adding a unique layer to his reputation as one of the NFL's most charismatic players. His sense of humor and humility make him a beloved figure in Baltimore and beyond. Tucker's accolades include multiple Pro Bowl selections, several first-team All-Pro honors, and a reputation as one of the most clutch performers in NFL history. His impact goes beyond statistics. He's redefined the importance of the kicking position, proving that a great kicker can be a game-changing asset. Antonio Gates' journey to NFL superstardom is one of the most remarkable in sports history. Not just football, Gates never played a down of college football, instead focusing on basketball at Kent State University. As a power forward, Gates led Kent State to the Elite Eight of the NCAA tournament in 2002 and established himself as a dominant presence on the court. Despite his basketball prowess, he was considered undersized for the NBA at 6'4" and began to explore other professional avenues. His decision to pivot to football would alter the course of his life and the NFL. Undrafted in 2003, Gates was an unknown commodity in the football world. His athleticism, however, caught the attention of the San Diego Chargers, who invited him to a tryout. Despite not having played organized football since high school, Gates' raw talent, agility, and hands stood out. The Chargers signed him, and Gates quickly proved he belonged. By his second season, Gates was the team's starting tight end and posted a breakout year in 2004 with 81 receptions, 964 yards, and 13 touchdowns, earning his first Pro Bowl selection and first-team All-Pro honors. What made Gates special was his basketball background, which gave him a unique skill set that revolutionized the tight end position. He used his size, footwork, and leaping ability to box out defenders, creating mismatches that were nearly impossible to defend. Quarterbacks, particularly Phillip Rivers, quickly learned that Gates was a reliable target in any situation, especially in the red zone. Gates' connection with Rivers became one of the most prolific quarterback-tight end tandems in NFL history. Over his career, Gates redefined the tight end position, combining elite receiving ability with a knack for scoring touchdowns. He led all NFL tight ends in touchdowns with 116 by the time he retired, a record that still stands. He finished his career with 955 receptions and 12,000 receiving yards, placing him among the all-time greats in both categories for tight ends. His consistency and durability were remarkable, as he played 16 seasons and became the face of the Chargers franchise. Gates' accolades include 8 Pro Bowl selections, 5 first-team All-Pro honors, and a spot on the NFL 2000s All-Decade team. Beyond the numbers, he was a leader and a mentor, embodying professionalism and dedication. Despite going undrafted and entering the league with no football experience, Gates became one of the most dominant tight ends ever, paving the way for other basketball to football converts. Rod Smith's journey to NFL greatness is a testament to perseverance and hard work. Coming out of Missouri Southern State University, a Division II school, Smith was overlooked by every NFL team in the 1994 draft. Despite his standout college career, where he broke numerous records and earned All-American honors, scouts doubted whether his skills would translate to the professional level. Undeterred, Smith signed as an undrafted free agent with the Denver Broncos, knowing he would have to fight for every opportunity. Smith spent his first year on the Broncos practice squad, honing his skills and learning the intricacies of the NFL game. His big break came in 1995 when he made the active roster. Though his opportunities were limited at first, Smith's work ethic, route running precision, and reliable hands quickly earned the trust of teammates and coaches. In his first career catch, Smith made an unforgettable 43-yard game-winning touchdown against the Washington Redskins, signaling the start of something special. By 1997, Smith had emerged as a key part of the Broncos offense. That year, he helped lead the team to their first ever Super Bowl victory, following it up with another championship in 1998. His chemistry with Hall of Fame quarterback John Elway was a cornerstone of the Broncos' success, but Smith's contributions went far beyond his connection with Elway. He was a complete receiver, capable of making tough catches in traffic, stretching the field, and excelling as a blocker in the run game. Smith's best years came in the late 1990s and early 2000s, when he became one of the most productive and consistent wide receivers in the NFL. In 2000, he recorded 100 catches for 1,600 yards and 8 touchdowns, cementing his status as an elite playmaker. He followed that with another 100-catch season in 2001, becoming the first undrafted wide receiver in NFL history to eclipse 10,000 career receiving yards. Over his 14-year career, Smith totaled 849 receptions, 11,000 receiving yards, and 68 touchdowns, all franchise records for the Denver Broncos. He was a 3-time Pro Bowler and 2-time Super Bowl champion, but his contributions went beyond the stat sheet. Smith was a leader in the locker room, known for his tireless work ethic and competitive spirit. He became a mentor to younger players, embodying professionalism and showcasing how to make impact in the game. Wes Welker's path to NFL stardom is a crazy one. Coming out of Texas Tech, where he was a dynamic wide receiver and return specialist, Welker went undrafted in the 2004 NFL Draft. Despite earning all Big 12 honors and setting numerous school and conference records, many NFL teams overlooked him due to his size. At 5'9" and 185 pounds, he was very undersized. This combined with a perceived lack of elite athleticism. However, Welker's skill set, precise route running, quickness, and toughness would eventually make him one of the most prolific receivers in league history. Welker's NFL journey began with the San Diego Chargers, who signed him as an undrafted free agent. However, he was released after the first game of the 2004 season. The Miami Dolphins quickly picked him up, and Welker began to showcase his versatility, contributing as a receiver, return specialist, and even a kicker in an emergency situation. Over 3 seasons with Miami, Welker developed into a reliable target, but still flew under the radar as a role player. His career took a dramatic turn in 2007 when the New England Patriots traded for him. Paired with quarterback Tom Brady in the Patriots' high-powered offense, Welker flourished, redefining the slot receiver position. That season, he led the NFL with 112 receptions, the first of 5 seasons in which he recorded over 100 catches. Welker's quickness, agility, and uncanny ability to find soft spots in defenses made him Brady's go-to target in clutch situations. From 2007 to 2012, Welker became one of the most productive receivers in NFL history, amassing 672 receptions, 7,400 yards, and 37 touchdowns in 6 seasons with New England. He led the league in receptions 3 times and became a perennial Pro Bowler and first-team All-Pro selection. His chemistry with Brady helped the Patriots maintain their dominance, and he was a key part of their Super Bowl runs during that era. After leaving New England, Welker joined the Denver Broncos in 2013, where he continued to excel. Teaming up with Peyton Manning, he recorded 73 catches and a career-high 10 touchdowns in his first season in Denver, helping the Broncos reach Super Bowl 48. Although concussions and injuries began to take their toll later in his career, Welker's impact on the game was undeniable. Welker retired with 903 receptions, 9,900 receiving yards, and 50 touchdowns, ranking among the all-time leaders in receptions. fans. More than just numbers, his legacy lies in how he transformed the slot receiver position, proving that intelligence, toughness, and precision could overcome size limitations. Warren Moon's career is one of the most extraordinary and trailblazing stories in football history. Born in Los Angeles in 1956, Moon faced significant barriers on his path to becoming a professional quarterback, including racial prejudice and doubts about his ability to excel at the position. Despite leading his high school and junior college teams to success, Moon received limited scholarship offers. He eventually landed at the University of Washington, where he became the starting quarterback and led the Huskies to a Rose Bowl victory in 1978, earning game MVP honors. Despite his college success, Moon went undrafted in the 1978 NFL Draft. At the time, many NFL teams were reluctant to give black quarterbacks a chance, doubting their ability to lead an offense. Undeterred, Moon looked north to the Canadian Football League and signed with the Edmonton Eskimos. Over 6 seasons in the CFL, Moon dominated, leading the Eskimos to 5 consecutive Grey Cup championships from 1978 to 1982, and earning 2 CFL Most Outstanding Player awards. His dazzling arm strength, mobility, and leadership made him one of the most electrifying players in Canadian football history. Moon's CFL success finally forced the NFL to take notice. In 1984, he signed with the Houston Oilers, becoming one of the first highly successful players to transition from the CFL to the NFL. At 28 years old, Moon faced immense pressure to succeed, but he quickly silenced any doubts. By his second season, he had solidified his place as the Oilers' starter, and by the late 1980s, he was one of the league's premier quarterbacks. The pinnacle of Moon's NFL career came in 1990 when he threw for 4,689 yards and 33 touchdowns, earning first-team All-Pro honors and the NFL Offensive Player of the Year award. Moon's exceptional arm strength and accuracy allowed him to excel in the Oilers' pass-heavy run-and-shoot offense, where he frequently connected with receivers like Drew Hill and Ernest Givens. Over his career, he had 9 3,000-yard passing seasons and became the first player to throw for 4,000 yards in back-to-back campaigns. Moon's NFL journey wasn't without challenges. Despite his individual brilliance, he faced criticism for the Oilers' playoff struggles, including a heartbreaking loss in the 1992 AFC wildcard game, where Houston squandered a 32-point lead against the Buffalo Bills. However, Moon's perseverance and professionalism stood out, and he continued to excel even after being traded to the Minnesota Vikings in 1994. He later played for the Seattle Seahawks and Kansas City Chiefs, demonstrating his longevity by playing at a high level well into his 40s. Moon retired in 2000 with 49,000 passing yards and 291 touchdowns in the NFL, adding to the 21,000 yards and 144 touchdowns he amassed in the CFL. His combined professional totals exceeded 70,000 yards and 435 touchdowns, cementing his status as one of the most prolific quarterbacks in football history. In 2006, Moon made history as the first black quarterback inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Warren Moon's legacy extends far beyond his stats. He broke barriers, challenged stereotypes, and paved the way for future generations of black quarterbacks. His story is one of resilience, excellence, and unwavering belief in his abilities, making him not only a football icon but also a trailblazer who changed the game forever. Those are just some of the best undrafted players in the history of the game. We will probably do another one of these, because there are a few more players that definitely would have been worth talking about if we had the time. So if you want to see another one, be sure to press the like button and comment down below so we can get going on that. Thank you all so much for watching our last video about Art Schlichter, the quarterback who gambled his entire future away. If you want to watch that, it is on screen now.